What is good, y'all? It is your boy Jones, and welcome to another episode of Locker Room Sunday. And as always, I'm joined with my host, Luke. What's up, boy?
I swear to God, dude, I don't think it feels like I haven't done one of these in a year and a half.
I know it's been a while, but
Yeah.
sports is slowly, not even slowly,
Yeah.
sports is back in every aspect. So
Yeah. Let me say one thing. I've been on a little bit of a hiatus because my work schedule's fucking nuts, plus my commute. You know how you people can eliminate that for us? Patreon. Go find us on Patreon. Doesn't cost much. You get all the access. I've said this shit like 8,000 times. And we have an anthill, but you can make a mountain out of an anthill. Just, just takes consistency.
Exactly. And I'm glad that you brought up the patrons because I wanted to shout out our new patrons, Ozzy, Colden, Jordan, Steve, all the guys that are in the group chat on the Instagram, Jones Sports group chat. You guys know who you are. I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys help make sports better. You make our jobs a lot easier. Mm-hmm. And you just make sports fun. So it gives us more to talk about and things like that. So
yeah, I appreciate our Patreon group chat on Instagram because when it's a little sticky right now to be a white guy, let alone a white Trump supporting white guy. But no, we were able to actually have an actual conversation where no one left, offended.
Right.
And shit was nice. Like you don't see that now. Everything's either fuck you, I hate you, or fuck you too.
Exactly. And then to anybody that's watching, if you want to join something like that where you can be free to say things and, not be judged for it, as long as you're respectful, come join us. We talk shit all day. That's what sports fans really do. And that's what Jones for Sports is about. So if you like that type of shit talking and all that shit, but also having respect for each other, please join us on Instagram at Jones Sports.
Right.
We'll have a great time. We got a great group.
And real quick, because I know we're on a smidge of a time crunch here. Speaking of making sports better, we also are doing fantasy sports. And part of that for Patreon members is first in line access to our fantasy football league. Now, we are drafting September 9th this says 10:30 p.m. That sounds like a joke, but
it's not. It's 7:30.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it is a joke. Sorry, 7:30.
Okay. So normal human hours, we're drafting. We have 7 teams in. We need 10 for legitimacy. And we have it set for up to 20, which would be fucking awesome, frankly.
Yeah.
Because that would mean we have 20 legitimate, knowledgeable sports fans picking legitimate 5th string wide receivers.
Right. Exactly.
I'm all for that. Not to mention, this year it's an IDP. If you know what that is, good. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's actually more fun than it gets credit for.
Yeah, absolutely. We're always down to try new things and just have fun with it. So if you're interested, join. It's only $5 if you sign up for Patreon.
Yeah.
Which is the length of the season anyways. And if you don't enjoy all the perks that come with that, you can leave after 5 months. We're not, going to be mad. We know what you were in it for, but I promise you, if you do join those 5 months, you will enjoy so much more than just a fantasy football league, and you'll end up staying. I promise you that. So, So now we're going to move on to what we came to talk about, which is football, which is basically, a week away from tomorrow?
Pretty much, yeah.
Week away from tomorrow, Chiefs-Texans kickoff. Just seeing the Super Bowl rings, which are amazing by the Chiefs. They look amazing. There's a lot of fucking.
Not the best looking ring handed out last night, by the way, either. Must be nice to be Patrick Mahomes' fucking girlfriend. Because
right, exactly.
Dude took that fucking check and clearly went to K. Or maybe Jared. Maybe he went to Jared.
He might have went to Jared.
But nonetheless, rings got passed out. I believe a caption on one of the things I saw on Instagram was, look at your woman the way Mahomes looks at his Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
Completely accurate statement.
Exactly.
If there wasn't 52 other people socially distanced at cocktail tables on the field at Arrowhead, he might have tried to fuck that thing.
Yeah, for real. Why not? But now, yeah, so obviously we do this every year. We talk about our division predictions, our 2 early Super Bowl picks, and our awards. So we're going to kick it off with our division winners. We're not going to do the full list. We're just going to do our division winners. So starting off with the NFC West, I'll start it off. My division winner is Seattle, with the addition of Jamal Adams and, the consistency of Russell Wilson, plus the 49ers. I think they overachieved last year and they lost some pieces this year. So I don't think they're going to be that much of a threat. They'll be good, but they won't be the same team they were last year. At least I don't think they will be. So
there's always one team that has a Super Bowl hangover. It tends to be the losing team. I would agree Seattle. I could see Seattle winning, and I'm going to agree with you. I'll take Seattle. Also because of Greg Olsen. Because Lord knows Russell needed at least another competent tight end. Greg Olsen is absolutely that. Jamal Adams, I think if they're trying to make a second Legion of Boom, it's not going to happen. But he'll do exactly what Chancellor did in that defense, and that was frightening.
Right.
No other way to put it. Yeah, and then with San Francisco, I'm just a little bit concerned with Deebo Samuel. Because that type of injury tends to linger and kind of re-manifest at the worst possible time.
Yeah.
Which would mean losing Sanders, losing Deebo Samuel. Your only receiving at that point is Kittle and Pettis, and your running backs out of the flat, and a quarterback who let's face it is not that good. He's average at best. He's better than Trubisky. But he's not Aaron Rodgers.
Right, exactly. No, you're absolutely right about that. Same reasons why I didn't pick 49ers. They lost too much, and the Seattle picked up a lot. So they're already a good team.
And real quick with San Francisco too, they did lose not Armstead. Who's the other D tackle they had that they traded to the Colts? Not Thomas, the Buckner. They traded DeForest Buckner, and everything I've heard coming out of Niners camp is that Javon Kinlaw has had a horrendous camp. So you still have Eric Armstead, Nick Bosa. The D line is still, and Fred Warner. The defense is still, I would say, elite. But defense, even the Rams can score on that defense. Let's just be real.
Right.
And also, and for what it's worth, the Cardinals are not the same Cardinals. This Cardinal team is frightening.
Right, exactly. So absolutely. They're going to make a punch this year.
Yeah, the Cardinals might actually contend for a wild card team if they can figure out their O-line.
I agree.
Next one up.
NFC North.
Okay.
This one I was, iffy with, but I'm going to go with the Vikings. I think the Packers overachieved last year, and I don't think they're going to do it again, especially with everything going on within that organization. Not everyone – the team's not won. I don't believe the team is won, especially with the draft and the direction that the organization seems they want to go is they're done with Rodgers pretty much. So I think there's a bad relationship there. But I wouldn't put it past them if they did, because we know that division, it's not that promising. So if the Vikings tank, then it's the Packers to take away. I don't really have that much confidence in the Bears that much anymore. Trubisky showed who he was last year, so that's, and then we already know the Lions are.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm going to throw a bold prediction. I think the Bears finish in last place.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I don't think Nick Foles is, how can I put this? Him getting out of Jacksonville is great for him, but you go to a team like Chicago where you're better than Trubisky, you'll probably win that starting job. But again, you're not elevating that offense. And then you're going to have the same problems where the defense is gassed halfway through the third quarter, and you're going to lose.
Yep.
And I
mean, it's going to be the same thing.
All right, people figured out Tariq Cohen. Jordan Montgomery had not the greatest rookie year, but not horrendous.
Right.
Again, too much reliance on defense is bad, and for what it's worth, Detroit, I get Patricia's fighting for his job, in my opinion. Because they fired Jim Caldwell after having, I think it was 2 out of 3 winning seasons. Patricia has done none of that. So you'd have to assume the timeline there is going to be similar. Division winner, I will say this. I could very easily see Minnesota winning. I have to go with quarterback play, and Rodgers is still there. Rodgers also dispelled all the shit last year that I thought would happen with him not really getting a grasp of LaFleur's offense. Mm-hmm. So you remove the question marks. Jordan Love is there. It was a really dumb pick. But for what it's worth, you have an insurance policy because you can't just keep pumping oxycodone into Aaron Rodgers because you don't have a backup. So, plus – the Packers and Vikings have the 2 best defenses in that division. I'm sorry. The Packers, Vikings, and Bears all have elite defenses, but only 2 of those teams have competent offenses.
Right, which is the Vikings and the Packers.
But whoever doesn't win that division, in this case for me it's Minnesota, wild card team, 100%.
Right, exactly. Now the NFC South.
Yep.
This is one that everyone's probably had a headache over picking. But for me, it wasn't that hard. For me, it's the Saints.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because I get it. Tom Brady, he went to the Bucs, and they have all these pieces there now. I get it. And their offense wasn't bad last year. No. It's just they had a horrible quarterback that also threw it to the other team a lot.
Yeah.
So you add Brady, who is obviously not going to make that many mistakes. Obviously, the team will be better. But I don't know. From what I've heard already, he's not that he's struggling with the offense, but he's still learning the offense.
Yeah.
And we're a week away. And that right there is a warning sign. Like, hey, he's going to need a few more weeks, And, I mean, obviously, it's not all his fault with COVID and shit like that.
I was going to say, this is a COVID symptom. This is not
right. Exactly.
Bruce Arians' offense is complicated enough. You ask Ben Roethlisberger, who thrived in it.
Right.
I would agree, though. New Orleans is the best team in this division. What I will say is the Bucs, at worst, are probably one of the other wild card team.
No question. Question.
Carolina might be the worst team in the NFC, top to bottom.
Yeah.
I feel bad for McCaffrey and Bridgewater. DJ Moore. But without Kuechly, that defense has no identity. There's no balls. It's just kind of Brian Burns is the only player on that team that would really scare you. And if he gets hurt again, who knows? Right.
Exactly. And it's sad that there's 2 players in that division that we just want to see get out of there, which is McCaffrey and Julio Jones, because they're both with teams that they're not going to last very long playing with those teams.
No, Atlanta had their window, and it died at 28-3.
Exactly.
Yeah. But no, the other thing I will say, though, the week 1 Sunday night game, or I think it's the 4:30, Bucs at Saints, must-watch television.
Absolutely. And do you know off the top of your head when we play each other?
That Steelers Cowboys?
Yeah.
Week 9.
Okay.
In Dallas. In front of nobody.
All right. Now we get to my beloved division, which is the NFC East. And obviously, I'm going with my Cowboys, but I'm not, 100% confidence like I had last year. I wouldn't be surprised if we fucking fucked it up again. But I will say that we do have another promising looking year with the talent that we've gotten, adding a rookie like CeeDee Lamb, a new coach, a championship winning coach, something that can, give us a new look. And then you got Dak on his another trying to prove himself contract year. So that can also help him with the pieces that we got.
Yep.
We did lose a big guy on defense, but I think we still have enough what it takes to be a good defense. Last year, I don't know where the fuck they were.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm hoping they show up this year. What's his name? The middle linebacker.
What, Jalen Smith?
No.
Sean
Yeah. Him. He's not Jalen. Jalen needs to show up too, but
Vander Esch?
He's going to be healthy this year. They're healthy, which is a great sign. So if they can come in healthy and stay healthy, maybe we can do something. Yeah. But that's the only reason why I'm going with them. I wouldn't be, and I just never have confidence in the Eagles. They got in last year just because we sucked that much more.
Remove your bias. Remove your bias. No, because let's be real. Philly's probably peaking at 9-7, the most Philly record of all time. And if Jalen Reagor is not an immediate, at worst, number 2 receiver, but impact receiver, that offense is stagnant. It's going to revolve around Goddard and Ertz like it always does. Carson Wentz is the most overrated quarterback in football.
Yep.
The defense is good, but it's getting older in some spots. And you also lost Malcolm Jenkins.
Mm-hmm.
So, for what it's worth, unless Jalen Hurts is your, dreadlock Jesus, then what happens? You're stuck with Wentz. I will say, though, Miles Sanders is poised to have an incredible season.
Yeah, absolutely. Had a good year last year.
Yeah. I mean, but this year, if Alshon's going to probably start on PUP, Reagor is a complete question mark. The only thing you know for sure is your O-line's good and Kelsey and Goddard are a problem. And then you have Sanders, which imagine running like a college-style option-based with Hurts and Sanders. That's terrifying.
Yeah. No, that definitely would be. Definitely be terrifying.
But yeah, Dallas should have no problem with this division. If they lose, McCarthy should be fired. Jerry should sell the team. Kellen should be fired. The entire blow it up.
Before we move on, I do want to talk about that. How McCarthy has given Kellen Moore the opportunity to continue play calling. I'm still like this with that. I mean, he's not a bad play caller.
The number 1 offense in football, and it got better.
Right, exactly. But there were times, it's hard for me to say because I don't know if those were all Kellen Moore's calls or were they Jason Garrett's calls. So, But there were some very questionable calls last year. And part of the reason why Zeke didn't perform well because they thought, all right, just hand it in his belly and let him go north. That doesn't work. You got to have some creative offense with the running back. We know he's not the most agile running back in the league. He's not Saquon Barkley, but you got to be creative.
Assuming your defense does what it's supposed to do and plays to the level that it can. Remember, Zeke got probably overworked on a bunch of bullshit dives just for possession and eating clock.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And part of the reason why we were the number 1 offense in the league is because we were playing catch up for half the fucking season.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to give us too much credit.
But you should win this division. We can confidently say Dallas should and probably will win the division, giving everything that's at stake.
Yep. All right. Moving on to the AFC. Starting in the East. I am going with the Bills, but it's possible. It's possible that the Patriots could take. We'll see what the Bills look like. If they look like they did last year, I think they take that division. But if Cam confidently takes that position, and Patriots are losing a lot of key guys because of the COVID-19, deciding not to play the season. So that's definitely going to be a part of it. And they didn't really have much last year on the offensive side anyways.
Nope.
But like you said before, I do like the quarterback, Cam, more than I like, what's his name? I forgot the Bills quarterback.
Josh Allen.
So, and hopefully Cam can stay healthy. But I'm still going to stick with the Bills because of their defense. I mean, Patriots got a great defense too, but they also lost a lot of pieces. Mm-hmm. So, Bills, I'm going with the Bills.
Even pre-COVID, they still lost Deron Harmon, who, of course, went to Detroit.
Of course.
They have you take away key playmakers plus Tom Brady. You add Cam Newton, it's still a downgrade. And then Buffalo adding Diggs. Realistically,
not about Diggs.
Right. Like, let's be real. New England might still have one of the best defenses in football, but Buffalo's is still top 10.
Yeah.
And Buffalo, assuming everything meshes, could be a top 10 offense.
Yeah, I can see that. No question. They had some bright moments last year.
Yeah.
Real great. AFC South.
Yeah.
Who do you got?
Well, Jacksonville is the worst team in football. You have one job. It's keep Trevor Lawrence away from the fucking Patriots. If you get the number one pick, you've done your job. Or the Bengals. Actually, no, it has to be Jacksonville because the Bengals wouldn't take Lawrence. It has to be Jacksonville. Fucking lose every game. You should. You cut Fournette. You have no receivers. You lost Marquise Lee, which for you got only them is a pretty substantial loss. They suck. I do not. Everything in my body is telling me to pick against the Texans, so I will.
Okay.
You can't replace DeAndre Hopkins with David Johnson, Brandon Cooks, Randall Cobb, and arguably top 5 worst coaching in the league. J.J. Watt is at that point now where he's still very, very good, but now he's on the wrong side of his timeline.
Yeah.
You're handing out contracts to guys like Zach Cunningham, which is smart, but Zach Cunningham has never been an elite linebacker.
Right.
So for what it's worth, and not to mention they were the, I believe, 28th best pass defense last year, so they can be carved to bits because they didn't really get any better.
Yeah.
So I am not taking Houston, which leads me to it's between who? Indy and who am I forgetting?
Titans.
Yeah. Tennessee is going to be good. They got no worse.
Right.
In reality, though, Phillip Rivers doesn't excite me. Phillip Rivers is like the human. Phillip Rivers is the human version of a hand job. He's just kind of there, and he'll get it done, but like no one's happy about it.
Oh, great!
But I have to take the Titans. The defense. We know what that defense can do. We saw them almost beat the Chiefs. If you can slow down Kansas City, you can slow down pretty much anybody. But Kansas City, you just can't get in a track meet with the Chiefs. They got into a track meet, and you're going to lose.
Right.
They can beat Baltimore. They can beat the big dogs, and Indy shouldn't scare them.
Right.
Indy's good. They're not great.
Right.
So I have to go with Tennessee.
I agree with you, and it's funny that we're saying this because if you remember 1 year ago, we were puzzled puzzled out of our minds to why everyone was hyped about the Titans.
Yeah.
And we couldn't believe it. We're like, why is everyone so up on the Titans?
Yeah.
And then
you got to
half the season later, they fucking so
sometimes
they opened up our eyes.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to eat your fucking medicine when it's given to you.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I mean, but Tennessee, here's the thing. They got no worse. There's no monumental changes. The only thing that they lost, and this is the most questionable thing I think they could have done. Why wouldn't they keep Logan Ryan?
Yeah.
Because now he's on the fucking Giants. He'll die a slow death there because it's the fucking Giants. But, yeah, you still have Henry. I'm also going to make another bold prediction because we like to sprinkle those in. A.J. Brown will have a top 5 year in terms of AFC receiving.
I can see that.
That kid's a fucking animal.
He is. He's huge. He's strong.
Fucking quick. He's built like Metcalf, which is terrifying.
Yeah, it is.
And no, but AJ Brown's a stud, which makes Corey Davis more of an option. There's a lot of shit they could do there.
Yeah, everything you said.
And not to mention, Jonnu Smith is the most underrated tight end in football. Him and Blake Jarwin.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Like you said, I don't believe in the Texans. I seen what they did last year and what they lost this year, and the pieces that they tried to replace with it. They're nice, but they're not what the big toy that you had before. They can't. All of those pieces together can't replace that. Yeah. So, and we've seen this year after year after year after year with this Houston Texans team, and this is why no one believes in them. And now we're seeing where everyone's just feels like everyone's just jumped off the bandwagon of believing in that team at all, even with one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And I feel bad for him.
Well, I really do. Watson has no business staying there.
Yeah.
The only way I stay or even consider it is if they fire Bill O'Brien.
Right. Exactly. And it seems like every time you think they're going to fire him, they just give him more power.
Mm-hmm.
So makes no sense. But, yeah, we agree. Titans, we apologize. We were wrong. We believe in you guys now.
Yeah.
AFC North.
Okay.
Ha-ha.
Yeah.
Ha-ha.
Speak your piece before I start ranting.
All right. Before I say who I'm actually going to pick, it really depends on the health of Big Ben. Yeah. If Big Ben can stay on the field this year, I have confidence that this Steelers team can be a very dangerous team. Mm-hmm. They have the pieces in every aspect. They have the coaches. They have the receivers, the running backs, the defense. I believe in this team. And they almost made the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
With no Ben.
No.
And four quarterbacks.
No offense.
Right.
No offense.
Exactly. And then you got the Ravens with the defending MVP, Lamar Jackson. Mm-hmm. They added a few pieces. Defense is still solid. It's tough for me, but I'm gonna stay. This is too early. This pick might change, so I got to make that clear. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna stick with the Steelers. My first pick was the Steelers. Big Ben, if he is healthy and that team get back to what they were doing before when he was healthy, this team could be very dangerous. So I'm gonna go with that. But
I can't remember.
No Ben, Ravens.
No, yeah. I can't remember the last time Ben played with a competent defense. I really can't.
Right.
Because people forget when we had the Killer Bees, we were winning games like 45-35.
Right.
We had no defense. Now we have a top 5 defense. And for what it's worth, if you look at our receiving core, is it young? Yeah. Juju's only going to be good if Ben's healthy. We've proven that now.
Yep.
James Washington showed that he can be something.
Yep.
The running game, I fully expect Connor to miss at least 4 games because he's injury prone as all fuck. But for what it's worth, he looks based on pictures I saw of Connor in the weight room during quarantine, it looks like he is a linebacker now, where he's all muscle and completely jacked out of his mind. Anthony McFarland could help. Benny Snell's probably your short yardage guy. So you have a three-headed monster that's not necessarily a monster, but three-headed productive unit.
Right.
Deontay Johnson is probably the most underrated, soon-to-ascend receiver in the NFL because he was putting up numbers with Duck and Mason. Just not really any splash plays. And the defense is the defense.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing to be factored in here is at the end of the year, there's going to be two guys that need to get paid. Bud Dupree's not staying. Fine. Go away. I'm pissed we still have him. TJ Watt and Cam Hayward, specifically TJ Watt, needs to get paid whatever. I'm just hand him the fucking checkbook.
Right.
Cam Hayward has proven that he doesn't belong anywhere else except for Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
He's beloved among Steeler fans.
No question.
It would hurt. Physically, I would be violently ill if I saw him play for anyone else.
I believe.
And even though you hate Tuitt, good player, has injury problems, but still a good player.
Yeah.
Evan Bush is a monster.
Yep.
I don't need to speak anymore on this channel about Minkah Fitzpatrick because we all know what he is.
Yep.
And Joe Hayden and Steven Nelson are arguably a top 5 duo. My other counterpoint, what happens to quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson their third year in the league?
That's a good question because that's still
they get figured out. And now you have John Harbaugh has come out and said we have less designed runs for Lamar because they're trying to keep him healthy. Even if he put on 10 pounds of muscle, he's still what, buck 80? Maybe buck 85? He can't take these hits.
Now he's going to last.
Right. And for what it's worth, you better hope to Christ that Hollywood Brown is there the whole year because he's the only receiver they got.
Yeah, no question. And he did progress in the passing game. Not gonna shit on him there, but he's gonna have to turn it up another level because, like you said, you get figured out this year.
But Mark Andrews is gonna figure out. Mark Andrews is a stud.
Mm-hmm.
I worry though that teams are gonna start double covering him and a duo of, let's say, Terrell Edmonds and Devin Bush can neutralize Adams. And when it comes down to it, I believe it was week 5, we played Baltimore in Pittsburgh with Mason under center, and we only lost that game by 3 because Juju fumbled on the best play I've ever seen Marlon Humphreys make.
Yeah.
So that was a close game. We know you can't surprise Pittsburgh with Lamar.
Right, no.
You can't. So, yeah.
All right, so we're both going with the Steelers on that one with a healthy Ben.
Yeah, right. Humongous asterisk on with the healthy Ben.
Right. And the last division, the AFC West.
Chiefs next.
We all know that's it. Sorry, E, your Denver Broncos aren't going to make it.
The only team that was in any position to even remotely contend was the Chargers. Derwin's out for the year. Game over. And we don't even know who their fucking quarterback is. It's probably Tyrod Taylor. So how are you going to fathom winning?
Game over. All right. So now that we know the division winners, who will be making the playoffs, who do you got coming out of the NFC?
NFC?
Yep.
NFC, I'm going to go and take – I'm going to take New Orleans. They've been fucked for so long, year after year. It's time. This team is not any significantly worse. People will say, "Oh, Kamara is kind of a one-trick pony." Yeah, but you have Michael Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders, and you can run circles around pretty much every other team in that conference.
It's possible he might be traded. I'm hearing rumors that
they're close to a deal now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had a
That's
little
good.
sit down. They figured it out.
That's
Because they don't have a Kamara level backup. So why would you just let him go?
Exactly. There's no more. So yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I will say this
NFC
title game. I'm gonna go Saints v Dallas.
Wow, you just shocked me with that one.
Here's the deal. I know I like to fuck with you about the Cowboys. Understandably so, because you've been a good sport for all of the mocking, but this team's too fucking talented. Garrett's gone.
Right.
That's addition by subtraction. If that offense even performs at 75% of what if it did last year, it's a top 10 offense.
Yeah.
The defense can't possibly be that bad again.
Right. They have to.
And even losing Gerald McCoy, you still have Griffin, Lawrence. The front seven is stacked.
Yeah, it is.
And you drafted impeccably.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I'm hearing is that Quandre Diggs is an absolute stud.
Yep.
Because we knew that was happening. But even Lamb is as good as advertised, in my opinion. And even if he underperforms, it doesn't matter because there's fucking Gallup and Cooper. Everything's in place. Jarwin's going to have a good year just because he's the fourth read and no one's going to cover.
Finally.
And Witten's fucking gone.
Exactly. I used to love Witten, but I heard that he wasn't a fucking real leader and didn't want to help Jarwin. So fuck you for that.
That's horrendously surprising.
Yeah, exactly. I was shocked.
You heard for like 20 years that Witten is like the greatest teammate. Wow. Really?
Right. I've heard the same thing. And then he went to the Raiders, and then Jarwin and a bunch of the Cowboy tight ends said that he wasn't willing to help them. And I'm just like, what? No, get the fuck out of here.
See, this is the problem. I fear the same thing, by the way, with Gronk.
Really?
I think Gronk is going to have a dog shit year.
Yeah, that's true. He's been out for a while.
And what I also think, because this is Tampa, and I can't trust Tampa until they earn it, something tells me someone's going to overpay for someone like O.J. Howard, and they'll trade O.J. Howard. So then you're left with Gronk and Cameron Brate. Brate's good, but Gronk even coming out of retirement at 31, how many fucking surgeries did Gronk have? He can't possibly be 100% of what he was with the Pats. It's not possible.
No question. I agree. I don't think he's going to have the year that everyone thinks he's going to have. He'll be, he'll be there, but that he's not going to have a huge impact.
Mm-hmm.
But my NFC pick is Seattle. I'm going with Seattle. I think they're going to get over. They're always, are close or they're there. And I think this year they get over that hump. The NFC title game, I'm going Seattle and Saints.
Yeah.
I want to pick my boys, but I'm just not. After last year, I just can't be that confident to do it again. So I'm not going to be that confident this year.
Yeah. If one of my picks, whether it be the Saints or the Cowboys, aren't there, I would also take Seattle.
Right. Exactly. I think, like you said, those are probably the top three teams in the NFC.
Yeah, and then my sleeper, if we're gonna go real kind of deep, Minnesota.
Okay, I would go with Bucks, but Minnesota. Okay.
People expect the Bucks to win the fucking Super Bowl just because Brady.
Right, that's true.
Kirk Cousins is.
That's true.
Kirk Cousins is not exactly elite, but there's still weapons there, and that defense is still loaded.
Yeah. Yep. AFC, who you got? AFC title game, and then who you got winning?
AFC title game. As much as I would love to put Pittsburgh into the equation, I think lacking a legitimate number one receiver is going to haunt us at some point, especially if we play a team like Baltimore, who would have seen us twice at that point. I am going to go AFC title game. By default, Kansas City has to be in there. The game's probably going to be at Arrowhead, but I'm going to take Buffalo.
Okay. I like that.
I am super fucking high on Buffalo. When they came into Pittsburgh late last season, primetime, and played a hell of a game, that told me that they could play against anybody, fuck circumstance. McDermott's an underrated head coach. They've drafted well, and you're starting to see all the pieces. That team's almost like a pot of chili that you've had in a slow cooker for like 3 years, and then every once in a while you added a good ingredient, and now you're going to see the fruits of that labor. Diggs to me puts them over the top to a level that it's going to be. It's only a team like Baltimore could really cover them, maybe Tennessee. But Diggs, I feel like
be a great team.
Diggs is poised to be rejuvenated because he won't be bitching about Cousins all year.
Exactly.
And Devin Singletary and Zach Moss are a good 1-2.
Yep.
Dawson Knox, very underrated tight end. There's a lot to like, and not to mention Tre'Davious White might be the second best corner in the NFL.
Yeah, he's great.
Not to mention Hyde. That team has like underrated talent everywhere. They
do, and they showed it last year.
Yeah.
Now they have even more experience. It's going to be sky's the limit for that team.
Yeah, 100%. What do you got?
For me, the AFC title game will be a rematch of last year's AFC title game. I'm going with the Chiefs. The reason why I'm picking the Titans is because I think now that they know how, if they've gotten a taste of it, they know how to beat teams, which is keep the ball away from their best players. The only team that could beat them is the Chiefs because they just put up too much and they have too much talent. Yeah. And you can't stop them for a full 4 quarters.
Yeah. To me, a dream scenario is four of the 10 best defenses in football are in the AFC. None of them are Kansas City, thank fuck. But I would love to see what Mahomes would do against Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Tennessee, and Buffalo.
Yeah.
Because none of those defenses are pushover. They're not last year's Dolphins. They're not the fucking Jaguars. Like, those are real games. And even the Chargers. I think we'll get a sample size of how disgusting the Chiefs offense is when they play the Chargers, during the regular season.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. So, AFC champions will be the Chiefs, I think, obviously. Not saying that the Titans can't get it done because they were close, but Chiefs just have too much. Mm-hmm. And with everything going on, they're just on a high, and I don't think they're coming down anytime soon.
Yeah.
So, Super Bowl, you said Saints, Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
Who you got?
I would love to pick New Orleans. I really would. New Orleans defense can hang. We saw what happened in that Niner game last year where if they get in a shootout, you're fucked. And there's one team in the NFL that a shootout is a guaranteed loss, and it's Kansas City. Yeah. And also, for what it's worth, the Niner defense last year is better than anything the Saints have this year.
Yeah.
And Kansas City won that game. Now, granted, that's all. I'm curious because there's always been that adage where defense wins you championships, and that still holds water.
Right.
But you don't need the Steel Curtain or the Purple People Eaters to get this done. You need enough of a defense to get, 3 and outs and occasional luck with like wide open drops.
Right.
That doesn't happen with New Orleans. It doesn't really happen with the Chiefs ever.
Right.
So in a shootout, though,
Yeah.
I think the Chiefs have been there, done that. They know what it takes. Nothing's really monumentally changed. If anything, they got better because Edwards Helaire is destined for greatness.
Yep.
I would assume you're probably picking along similar lines.
I am. I said it would be Seattle versus Chiefs, and I'm going with the Chiefs, defending champs, to win it again. They just have too much.
Mm-hmm.
If obviously no injuries, but if everyone's healthy, they know what it takes. They've been there.
Yeah.
They've had success for the past 3 to 4 years, and just seem like they keep climbing and climbing and climbing.
Yeah.
And Patrick Mahomes is just figuring out these defenses even more. He said he just figured out how to read defenses, the year before, and mid-season or something like that. So the sky's the limit for that whole team. So Chiefs, we both got them winning back-to-back Super Bowls. Quick, let's get the awards. MVP.
MVP of what? AFC or NFC?
AFC.
It's Mahomes. Yeah. Next.
NFC.
Russell Wilson.
I agree, both. Defensive Player of the Year.
This is trickier. Defensive Player of the Year in the NFC. All roads would lead me to say Aaron Donald. I am not going to take that route because I think you need to be somewhat successful, and I think the Rams just frankly outright suck.
Right.
I am going to take, NFC Defensive Player of the Year. Fuck it. Bobby Wagner.
Okay. I'm going with the same team, actually, different player.
You're going to go Jamal Adams, which is fine. That's who I had on my mind, but I'm actually going to swap that. I'm going to go Fred Warner.
Okay. That's a good one, too.
Younger
AFC.
Oof. Oh, shit. TJ Watt.
TJ Watt. It's funny that we're picking same team. I'm going with Fitz.
You're going with Minka?
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
I'm going with Minka.
I'm not going to argue that. I'm just saying. Fucking Watt's the one who shines a lot.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Offensive Player of the Year.
Oh, God. Okay, so this – correct me if I'm wrong.
You don't have to do both, just one player.
Well, no, I'll go both. So this tends to not go to a complete – like this isn't always a quarterback because if both of our MVPs are – okay, so Offensive Player of the Year, AFC, A.J. Brown.
Okay, I got Mike Evans.
Well, AFC or NFC?
AFC. Oh, sorry. I said NFC. Well, now you know my NFC.
Okay. Who's your
AFC? Tyreek Hill.
Okay. My NFC, I'm going to go Michael Thomas.
Definitely. Defensive Player of the Year. Oh, sorry. Rookie of the Year.
NFC, I'm going to go CeeDee Lamb.
Agreed.
AFC, AFC, I'm going to go – this is – AFC Rookie of the Year is hard. I'm going to take Patrick Queen.
Queen? Shit. Trying to think of these rookies right now. What's that rookie from that's on the Chiefs? I'm going with him. The running back.
Oh, Edwards Helaire?
Edward. Yeah.
Well, that would be for Albert rookie. Yeah. I could trust me, I could very easily see that.
Yeah. No question, especially with the way they're.
I'm also surprised none of us picked Joe Burrow.
You're surprised by that?
Well, the team has no expectations. They have arguably a top 10 receiving core, assuming Green is healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Okay. I mean, yeah, I think he'll be in the running for sure.
And
but
the games outside the AFC North, they're going to be competitive. They're not Jacksonville bad.
Right. That's true. All right. So, defensive rookie of the year.
Well, so I just took Patrick Queen. So I'll give you my offensive rookie of the year. AFC, it would be Edwards-Helaire for the AFC. Defensive, NFC defensive rookie of the year. I am going to go, goddamn, AFC defensive rookie of the year. Honestly, I'm going to go Chase Young.
Chase Young, nice. Okay. I was thinking him too, but late scratch, I'm going with Diggs, my Cowboys.
Yeah, that's fair game.
Yeah.
And then AFC defensive rookie of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, I already said Patrick Queen, so.
Okay, so I'm going to go Simmons.
Well, that'd be NFC.
Oh, Arizona's there. Yeah, that's right. Well, I meant to mention him before.
Yeah.
When I said CeeDee Lamb.
There you go.
Coach of the year.
AFC, I'm going Sean McDermott.
Agreed.
NFC, I will take Pete Carroll.
Okay, I like that one. I'm gonna go with Bruce Arians because I think obviously with what they have in Tom Brady, they're gonna get a lot more attention and shit like that. So
yep.
And especially from where they've been last year to if they are what the hype is and they're a good team, then he'll definitely get some consideration.
You're right.
But that is everything. That is our predictions. Obviously, these are too early to call, so we're obviously going to have more predictions as the season progresses. But thank you guys for all watching. Shout out to all our Patreons. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. Sign up if you are a fantasy football person.
Yeah.
And you want to join some great guys and win some good money. First place prize, $500. Second place prize, $200. Third place prize.
To all of our people in the fucking that are pre-existing Patreons,
Exactly.
And you've already paid your monthly subscription because yesterday was the first of the month. So you already got billed.
Yep.
All you have to do is hit a fucking link. That's it.
Yep.
There's no money. There's no buy-in. You're in. If you come from that chat to Yahoo, you're in. And when you're in, let's fucking go. Because guess who's defending champ? This guy. And I'm not an asshole. I'm not taking number one pick either.
Right. Exactly. So reminder.
If you want McCaffrey, go nuts.
There you go. Open season. Draft next week, September 9th, 7:30. Be there or be square. It is your boy, Jones. Locker Room Sunday. Luke.
Peace.
Jones of Sports. We make sports better.